day is coming in your life when you will not be able to do those things you used to do. When you will not be able to go to those places you can right now go to at ease. When you will not be able to show more love to your children. When you will not be able to instruct and discipline your children. When you will not be able to say to your wife or show how much you love your wife or show how much you love your husband. That day is coming. That day will surely come. And when that day comes, will you confidently say to yourself that you've lived life to the fullest? Or if given another chance, there are so many things in your life you would have loved to amend. Friends, life is beautiful. Life is great. Right now, there are so many things that you can do that a time will come you will not be able to do. You will have that strength. Or sometimes you may not even be alive. I might have gone far away from this earth. Your spouse might have gone far away from this earth. What will your children remember you for? Will they look deep into their memory and hear their father's voice in their head? Or hear their mother's voice in their head? Will you raise children that you can confidently say, I have raised responsible children? Will you have a wife that you can confidently say, I have loved my wife? Not just that I have told her how much I love her, but I have shown her love. I have loved my husband. Not only that I have showed him how much I loved him, but I have expressed it to him that I love him. Friends, if you've not done any of this, a day will come that you will look back and this regret will flow through your spine, from your head to your toe. That if I had known, I would have loved my wife. I would have loved my children. I would have showed my wife a lot of love. I would have showed my children a lot of love. I would have showed my husband a lot of love. I would have spent a lot of time with my children. I would have spent a lot of time with my wife. I would have spent a lot of time with my husband. I would have played with them. I would have taken them out on a trip. I would have bought a lot of chocolate for my children. A time will come that you will look back and you will say, oh, if I had known, I would have talked less and listened more to my wife. I would have talked less and listened more to my husband. I would have talked less and listened more to my children. I would have paid more attention to my husband. I would have paid more attention to my children. I would have paid more attention to my wife. That day will surely come that you will say, if I had known, I would have been more responsible to my husband. I would have been more responsible to my children. I would have been more responsible to my wife. That day will surely come that you will say to yourself, if I had known, I would have cherished that 9 months as a woman of carrying that pregnancy, knowing very well that that was my only chance of assisting God in the miracle of the child that is growing inside of me. Or as a husband, you would say, I would have cherished that moment with my wife when carrying the baby. That time will come, my friend, that you would say, if I had known, I would have said, more I love you, more I am sorry, more thank you. That day will come that you would say, I would have complained less about the mistakes of my children. I would have complained less about the mistake of my wife. I would have complained less about the mistake of my children. I would have complained less about their shortcomings and praised them more. I would have paid more attention to praising them. I would have paid more attention to compliment. I would have paid more attention to saying thank you. You've done well, my wife. You've done well, my wife. You've done well, my husband. You've done well, my child. A time will come that you will look back and you will say, if I had known, I would have been more responsible to my wife. I would have been more responsible to my husband. I would have been more responsible to my children. That day will come that you will say to yourself, if I had known, I would have loved my wife the more. I would have loved my husband the more. I would have loved my children the more. That day will come that you will look back and say, I would have assisted her more in her responsibilities. I would have assisted my children more in their responsibilities. I would have assisted my husband more in his domestic responsibilities. That day will surely come, friends. What will you be remembered for? Will you leave a memory, a lasting memory in the head of your wife? As she will sit down and say, how I so much miss him. That he will sit down and say, how I so much missed her. That your children will sit down and say, my father, my father. Sometimes my wife will always refer to his father as though he's still alive. And I will keep wondering, come on, your dad is late. Why are you referring to him as though he's still alive? Friends, that is simply because she will simply say, I still hear the voice of my father inside of me. Though dead, but alive in her. What will your children remember you for? Will your voice remain in their memory? Will your voice remain in their memory? Let's listen to what Apostle Paul will say. See, let's hear the conclusion of the matter. The time of my departure is at hand. I have fought a good fight of faith. I have finished my course, and I have kept the faith. Father, your course is to love your children. Your course is to love your wife. Your course is not just to love, you are meant to show that love to them. Wife, your course is to love your husband. Do not allow the things that are happening around you determine your love for your children and your husband. That one prominent person is doing something outside the norm does not mean that your love for your wife, your love for your husband, your love for your children should diminish. Show it to them on a daily basis. Play with them. Show them how much you love them. Show them how much you love them. Show them how much you cherish them. A day will come that you will look back. What will you see? Will you confidently say, I have loved my children? I have played with my children. I have loved my wife. I have loved my husband. I have spent good and beautiful time with my spouse. I have spent good and beautiful time with my wife. I have spent good and beautiful time with my husband. I have paid attention to their needs. I have valued them. I have been less concerned about their shortcomings. I have praised them. I have complimented them. I have said a lot of I'm sorry. I have said a lot of I love you. I have said a lot of thank you. I have paid attention to them. I have fought a good fight of faith. I have lived a life. I have raised responsible children. Friends, will you relax somewhere and say, I have done well. I have done well. Or you will be filled with this regret that I messed up. You can decide now. You still have the chances to make amendment. You still have the chances to repair the broken part. You still have the chances to clear this path that has grown bushy. You still have the chances to draw your children close to yourself. You still have the chances to say, I am sorry to your wife. You still have the chances to say, I am sorry to your husband. You still have the chances to say, I am sorry to your child. You still have that chance, my friend. I don't want this video to be too long, but I just want you to know that you can make an amendment. You can have a beautiful home. You can finish well. You can live a fulfilled life. You can live a fulfilled life. You should not allow things that are happening around you determine your love for your children and your spouse. Marriage is not a scam. Marriage is beautiful. Marriage is sweet. I am 100% certain because I have experienced it. Marriage is sweet. Marriage is sweet, friends. You can make it sweet. You can make it beautiful. You can make it wonderful. You can make it glorious. Only if you will decide to make your family your utmost desire, to make your family your priority. Friends, I said earlier, I don't want this video to be too long. Let's hear the conclusion of this matter. Finally, my brethren, whatever things are true, whatever things are noble, whatever things are just, whatever things are pure, whatever things are lovely, whatever things are of good report, if there is any virtue, and if there is anything praiseworthy, meditate on these things. Meditate on them. These things I have told you. Meditate on them. Friends, if you have not subscribed to this channel, please, I want you to do that right away. Like this video, leave a comment in the comment section. Share this video. Friends, please share this video with your husband. Let them watch it. Let them know what they are meant to do as a father. Share it with your brothers. Let them know that it is expected of them to live life to the fullest. Let them watch it. Let them see it. Leave a beautiful comment. Leave what you think about this video. We love you guys. You guys are the best of the best.